Hey guys, Scott here, and today we're going to talk about the good old Twins Curse. The Twins Curse, if you're unaware, every time there's any changes to Twins in any way or when the Twins came out, the game is usually just bugged as shit. Like, not even things involving the Twins, just everything in the game is broken. Now, to be fair, there's a bit more of an excuse this time because they updated to Unreal Engine 5, which has no real effect on the game at the moment. It just has the framework for later things to happen, but it still did mess up a lot of stuff. So, just off the top of my head, a couple of things that I've seen, at least on Reddit and reports and forums and streams and stuff like that. One, there's just like this crazy epilepsy shit going on right now. If you have epilepsy, do not look at the screen for the next 5 seconds. This has been happening. I've seen this multiple times in the basement. It's pretty common as well. All right, epilepsy warning over. There is extreme rubber banding on Survivor and Killer's side. Sometimes when you vault, you just teleport backwards, which can be extremely frustrating as Survivor and Killer. There's good old map desync again, which is when the server and the client have different views of what the map actually is, which makes it so that you can run through things that exist and you get blocked by things that don't exist because the server thinks you're on a different map, basically. So we've got all those good old bugs. There's a bunch of other ones. Those are just off the top of my head, the ones I could think of with quick examples, but it's pretty bad right now. We do have this one ADA bug though, which is, that's fine. But for the most part, I wanted to focus this video on the Twins, not just the bugs that came with the patch. Don't get me wrong, the Twins are also bugged as shit too, as is tradition, but I just wanted to go over mostly the Twins because the whole change to the Twins, in my opinion, it actually kind of just frustrates the hell out of me. So the main reason they wanted to change the Twins to begin with is because they realized the way the Killer's designed, you're sort of incentivized to play in a sweaty slugfest way because why else would you do that? It's like telling people to not slug with Oni. It doesn't make any sense. Their power directly results in slugging. Victor cannot pick people up, so you kind of like have to do that. It's not the player's fault. That's just how the Killer's designed. And so the devs wanted to try to kind of change that a little bit. And so for her rework on the PTB, they kind of did that. So they made it so that when you hit a Survivor that's healthy, you don't latch onto them, but when you hit a Survivor that's injured and you down them, you latch onto that Survivor on the ground, meaning that Victor couldn't snowball off of injures anymore. It kind of reversed the whole dynamic, and that's what they tried to do to fix the slugging issue. Problem is, they just made an unstoppable nightmare Victor that can just down people from full health in 7 seconds, so that was somehow even worse than the slugging issue, so they very wisely realized that they just wasted a bunch of time on that terrible idea and then just went back and reverted almost everything. But the thing is, they still kept all the quality of life and speed increases in the base kit, add-on changes and all that stuff. So basically, behavior in a nutshell had an issue with the Killer where they didn't like how predominantly slugging was the required way to play the Killer. And so they tried to fix it, failed miserably, and then just reverted it back, but made it even stronger than before because now it's faster to switch. A lot of add-ons are base kit now, and overall the Killer is even less clunky to play, which is good for Killer, don't get me wrong. But if the main issue was we don't like the slug-heavy playstyle that the Killer incentivizes, all they did was just go, all right, let's just make that worse and call it a day. That's all they did. It's like the Tuxedo Mask meme. It's like, you didn't actually do anything. You just made the problem even worse. Now the Killer is even better at slugging because it's just faster overall and less clunk. Again, for the people that actually play Twins, I'm sure this feels nice and that's great for you guys. I'm happy for you. But it's just funny that the main issue they set out to fix, they just did the opposite. They just made it even worse. And they're like, that's it. All right, successful rework, boys. Let's call it a day. So the thing is, the Twins wouldn't be as bad if they weren't bugged to hell right now. The problem is the Twins are super, super bugged at the moment. So likely if they fix all of these issues, the Twins will not be as problematic and I will have less grievance with going against them. But right now, it is miserable going against the Twins. And like I said, it's because several things are broken. First thing that's broken, Victor can face camp. There's no anti-camp bar for Victor. He can just straight up face camp, and there's no downside to it whatsoever. So that's obviously a glaring flaw that they need to fix. Next, the window to kick Victor is smaller, but not as small as you would think because it is less time. It's like a second or two less than it used to be, but at the same time, the white glow that indicates that they're not kickable is lasting too long. So it is a tighter window, but not as tight as people think it is because the glow is basically misleading people into thinking that you can't kick Victor when you actually can. So that's also bugged. By far the biggest bug with this killer right now, though, is the ability to recall Victor in like 10 seconds. That is so busted, it's almost PTB levels of broken, because you can just hit someone, they speed burst away for 3 seconds, and then you just follow them for 5 seconds, and then you get Victor back and you just hit him again. It's so fast that you can't even reset against this killer anymore. The main thing you would do against twins is group up and then kick when someone gets hit and then try to reset that way and try to heal and always stay healed so we can't snowball. But he can, she can send out Victor so fast again now that you don't have time to reset ever. It's just constant snowballing for the entire game once one guy gets injured. And that is mostly due to this bug, being able to recall Victor in 10 seconds. That is not intentional. That is something that needs to be fixed. But as it stands right now, it's making the killer a nightmare to go against. Even if they're not good, it doesn't even fucking matter. It's just so oppressive to go against right now. And I do think once they fix all of these issues, the killer will be a lot more bearable, and they will still retain the nice quality of life that makes them feel better to play as well, and will overall be decent. But again, so bugged right now that it's a nightmare. I really hope they fix this soon, because I don't even want to touch Survivor right now. It's miserable going against the twins, and it's mostly due to the insane amount of bugs that are with the game itself and the killer as well. So that's it. Good old twins curse. Never change behavior. All right.